Hello everybody and welcome. I would like to share a little analogy with you and it focuses on the self and those parts of us, linking back to the video before this one, those parts of the self that we might feel aren't as lovable as the others, and those parts of the self that we kept hidden, our shadow essentially. And when you're expanding your consciousness and your awareness about yourself and you're on your journey of personal development, shadow work is part of that. And you might hear it being spoken about in lots of different areas. And one of the ways I like to visualize it is that it is all part of the self. We're made of so many different aspects. And looking at the parts of ourselves that make us feel uncomfortable and the parts of ourselves that we might keep hidden from others, those are the things that need tending to and showing some love and working through, teasing out and dealing with, so that they can melt away and are no longer something that makes you feel uncomfortable. Let me give you the analogy of walking along a street, a lamp-lit night. A street that you're walking along, and the street lamps, the tall ones that are really high, and you're walking along the pavement and you can see your shadow in front of you, and you know that when you're walking towards the street lamp and your shadow is stretching out really long right in front of you, goes almost to the next street lamp. And the closer you get to the street lamp, if you watch your shadow on the pavement, the shorter your shadow gets. So the nearer to the light you get, the smaller your shadow becomes, until when you actually get to the street lamp and you're standing directly under it, your shadow's not there. It's underneath you. It's got nowhere else to go. And then as you continue moving away from the street lamp, your shadow falls behind you. And that is a really, really good analogy to hold in your mind when you're thinking about those parts of yourself that are needing some attention, the parts that you keep hidden from others, that you're worrying essentially about what will people think if they see that side of me. And the first really important thing to bear in mind is, again, as I've said before, other people's opinions of you, they don't matter. And when I say that, I don't mean it's okay for you to go around behaving how you like and hurting people left, right and centre. It's not about that. It's about knowing that you are worth being happy and living a content and fulfilled life. And if you do treat other people badly, you're not going to feel good about that. Whether you acknowledge it consciously or not, there'll be a seed inside you, a negative one, that will grow. And where things are able to flourish, they will grow. So if there's a seed of negativity, it will grow and it will continue. And unless you look at it, unless you look that demon square in the face and say, no, I'm not going to allow you to be a part of me. I want no part of that. I want to be happy. And whilst you're still there, I can't be happy. So let's talk it out. I'm just going to look you square in the face and say, that's enough now. This is part of you that needs to know there's no need to be fearful or scared anymore. To be shown some love, to be acknowledged, and to be dealt with in the right way. So if you have done something in your past to another person, or whatever the situation might be that you consider is wrong, that has been festering inside you, the way to deal with that is to look at it, to acknowledge that you did it, and to forgive yourself, because you are, and we all are, always doing the best with what we have at any given time. So the reason you did that thing was because it was something that was part of you at the time. What counts is that you're acknowledging it now. You're acknowledging that you did something that you didn't like, it made you feel bad, and you'd pushed it to the back of your mind, you'd pushed it out of the way, you'd put it in a little box so it couldn't bother you, so you could continue living your life. But it was always there, and it won't go until you deal with it. And it won't be doing you any good until you deal with it. Some people, you can pretend for years that everything is fine and you can put on your party face and you can live a life and you can function. But if you're really interested in living a fulfilled and happy and peaceful life, which is what you deserve, and when you are living a fulfilled, happy and peaceful life, your world will be beautiful, more beautiful than you can even imagine. I can promise you that. I am speaking from experience. And although we all have our own experiences, the one thing that we have in common is when we do things that make ourself, that take from ourself, that stop ourselves from feeling good, that won't ever go, and it will stay there until you pay it attention. And when I say show it some love, take responsibility for it. Look at it and go, okay, I did that. I really want to get it out of my head. I don't like that I did it, but I'm not going to carry on feeling bad about it because that's not useful. It's not productive. It's not positive. It's negative. So take responsibility. If you feel like you can only be free of that by apologizing to someone, then do that. Go ahead. And you're not apologizing for any reason other than you know it's the right thing. Always have that as your intent. Know that something you're going to do is the right thing to do. You're not doing it to please another person. You're not even really doing it to please yourself, although you are. Your intent is to do the right thing. And yourself can then be free of whatever that was weighing you down. So when you are considering those aspects of yourself that are a shadow, the parts of yourself that you don't want anyone else to see because you're ashamed of it, or you feel guilty, or you think that there's no hope, that it's too late, it happened too long ago, or it was just too awful that it's so painful for you to look at, it's okay. It's okay to do it. Nothing bad can happen from you going inside and looking at yourself. It's just between you and you. It doesn't have to involve anyone else. And you will feel better afterwards. Guaranteed. And if you can slowly pick away at any of the little things that make you feel uncomfortable, that's your shadow on the street pointing towards the light. Your shadow's always in front of you, showing you the direction to go towards the light. Think of the street lamp. It's shining there. You're walking here towards it, your shadow in a straight line towards the light, guiding you always. And it's guiding you, showing you what needs to be looked at in order to stand fully in the light, where you belong and where you deserve to be, where you can be happy and content and fulfilled and at peace. So I hope that makes sense to you, and I hope you try it and see what happens. I wish you the very best with your journey, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye.